continue our knowledge sharing mission through a series of interviews with marketing leaders from all around the world. And today we're thrilled to have Puran here with us today. Welcome to CMO Chats. Please, could you just give a quick, brief introduction of yourself and your company and role?
Thank you so much, Niall, and it's a pleasure to be part of such prestigious podcast series. Okay, a bit about myself. With 20 years of experience in the B2B tech marketing, I consider myself as a marketing maven, and I have found my passion in turning what I would say complex ideas into inspiring growth stories. That might be too much, but what I'm exactly doing right now is I'm leading the marketing team at Aaseya, which is a company which is into AI, automation, and low code and no code. I'm lucky to own the global brand and the whole of demand generation, as well as the partner GTM activities. And then it's all about crafting stories that we share in the market and building a strong pipeline, okay, for the sales and nurturing some awesome advocacy that comes after the deal is done and also after the story is published. I mean, in terms of the analyst stories or the recognition that we get from the market, from the partner, from a customer. So all of this amplification of all this news and stories is also equally important. I love being a part of this incredible journey, and then to make sure that we connect with our audience and our people every step on the way. Yeah, so that's a bit about me. Hope I did not take too long.
No. Maybe if you could try and just give a little bit of insight into what your main marketing focus is at the moment. I know there's going to be a lot. If there's that key sort of one driver for you in the company at the moment.
Absolutely. And this year, I'll tell you one thing, Niall. So this year, it has all been about precision and scale, and at the same time, doubling down our efforts in all of our tactics, or all of our strategies that we are putting in. I started off with account-based growth for top targets and amplifying the reach through a different, I would say, a number of co-plays with partners like Pegasystems, OutSystems, and Camunda. And the latest buzz in the town is the Gen AI, and we are also into the same, I would say, story. And then we are trying to unleash our Gen AI side of things to speed up, things or accelerate stuff in various dimensions. And it's more or less like you're trying to figure out the dimension of a diagonal. Okay, I don't know, I will say if I'm making sense or not, but it is more or less trying to do the impossible, because with the scale of growth that is happening with the Gen AI, I mean, a lot of things are happening which were never possible earlier. Okay. And having said that, the marketing focus, it always has been, the common thread which is out there is the pipeline integrity. We are also ensuring that every tactic that we are putting in must accelerate the sales velocity. Yeah, so that's been a mantra, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, it's really about that sort of growth with the partners. Yes. And obviously sort of making the most of the current trends and pushing those forwards. Okay. And how would you define success in marketing?
Success, that's a very good question indeed. Okay. And success, so there are different ways you can measure success, and especially when it comes to marketing, people think that, okay, pipeline or the numbers are important. Some people would say that, the brand awareness is important. For me, I would say success is where the revenue is meeting up the reputation. I mean, it's both which are part of your success, which can be part of your success stories. Okay, your number goals or the revenue goals, as well as the brand awareness. So marketing success, actually it boils down to three things. Okay. So the first, number one, would be the pipeline. Are we delivering the right quality of deals which are getting converted? Okay, so that's the story of the pipeline. Number two, it's about the profitability. Every marketing dollar that is getting spent should generate the revenue. I mean, at least it should be, in the lines of 2 to 3x, as a whole. And finally, your positioning. I mean, how you are able to build that market share and have you are able to get that brand authority. So that also actually matters. Okay, and the real. I mean, the feel-good factor comes when any of our customer would quote their own story back to us, and then our sales team are ready queuing up for the next campaign. I mean, all those testimonials and the customer, I would say, the success stories, they talk about the good things would be doing, all the latest and the greatest. And that is where we think that, okay, I mean, now we have hit the mark. Yeah.
Definitely. It's always easier if your brand reputation starts coming from other people, right? It's the best way to promote yourself. So that's great. And maybe just in terms of keeping on that success conversation, maybe you could share sort of a really successful event or engagement that you've hosted recently, and give some insights about why it was so successful as well.
Right. I would want to cite a recent example. So we were there at this event called Pega World 2025, which is one of the flagship event from Pegasystem, which is one of our OEM partners. And what we did at the event really stands out for me, and it's still on the top of the list. What we were actually able to triple the number of leads that we have achieved this year, and this was all because of the kind of engagement we did at the booth. And then there were these live demos, which were primarily focused upon the AI side of things, were a big hit. And the magic was that after the event, there was a tight alignment between the sales, or else I would say throughout the event. I mean, starting from the event preparation to finding out where to take the customer for the dinner, or where to get engaged, where to have much more meaningful conversation. Everywhere, each and every step we took, it was in alignment with sales, and jointly, we co-partnered each other in getting ourselves on the same page and with having a proper alignment, which was responsible for our success. And nevertheless, I mean, there was a strong partner alignment and the support which also was there, as well as the ecosystem or the suppliers or the vendors with whom we work. So that was actually responsible for the success of this event. And there was post-event also, there was a smooth flow of the data from the on-site batch scans and other stuff into our CRM. I mean, that happened within few weeks. I mean, the nurture process was also seamless, and we were able to also do a good number of conversions. So I would say this recent experience is something which has been successful, all because of the orchestration that happened in between the sales, the marketing, the people who were there in the support ecosystem, as well as and understanding each other. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that is such a good example of and tripling the amount of leads is, that's some serious growth, and I think it really just puts in the impact of being very conscious around each of the stages around events and making sure that planning is there. Because you've seen the results that have come out of it by breaking it down and making sure all the teams and I like that orchestration piece. I think I've definitely heard a lot of times this orchestra and conductor sort of language being used for marketeers, and I think that is very correct when dealing with the different functions and different teams around the businesses.
Absolutely.
So that's fantastic.
Yes, can't deny. Yeah,
awesome. And so now we've done the good. Can you explain some of your biggest challenges that you face as a marketer today?
Absolutely. I mean, today's earlier it's something. The world is evolving. It's evolving every day, and the way we used to work earlier is pretty different. I mean, not earlier. I mean, I would say a couple of years back, the way we were dealing with things have completely changed. I mean, thanks. If you are able to go back December or November 2022, and that is where ChatGPT got into our space, and things are completely different how we are doing things. Okay, now the biggest challenge that marketers are facing is cutting through all the noise and building the trust. Okay, audience have so much of information. They want to do. They want to search something. Earlier, they were going to Google and finding out things. Okay, I Google it out about the, about a vendor. Google out the information that I need today. Now, what they are doing, they're becoming expert. I mean, they're simply going to ChatGPT and finding out the things. Okay, so audience of today's audience or today's customers have more information, and it's more about skepticism. So we have to blend, this AI side of things to scale up with the genuineness. Okay, so how? I mean, let's say, even if I'm putting up a white paper, even if I'm putting up a blog article, my customer is smart enough to figure out whether this is a, a optimized effort to understand me as a persona, and this has all these things are completely fabricated to fit my needs, my requirement, and it has been put as a hook to attract me. Okay, the audience of today is smart enough to understand those items or those things. So it's very important that we need to be genuine, and there has to be human insight. I mean, mindfulness embedded into marketing should be the, I would say, the mantra, or should be the approach going ahead. And as I mentioned, that it's way too much of noise which is there in the market or in our space, in today's space. So building trust and coming closer to the customer and showing your genuineness would be something that needs to be explored, or that needs to be paid importance to. And Gen AI, or all this Chat GPT and AI automation, it's a kind of a high-wire act, and then where we are working every day, but we need to be cautious. Yeah. And the human element should not be, ignored.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I find that with all parts of my life. I'm crippled by choice, and so I have to do this. Everyone has to do the due diligence on everything, and they have the access to do that. So that point of being genuine and having that sort of trust that you can build upon. I think once then you get a customer, I think people are quite happy to stay once they get that sort of genuine connection there as well. But yeah, so much data, so much information, and everyone is an expert with ChatGPT and the like at their hands. So no, that's great. So on to career and leadership side of things. What career advice would you give to anyone starting in the marketing industry?
Absolutely. See, as Steve Jobs quoted, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," if I'm right. Okay. So that should be the motto that marketers need to have. You need to stay endlessly curious about everything which is happening in and around your place. I mean, it can be about technology, it can be about psychology, it can be about, knowing about business. Okay. And today, if I go back 10 years back, then there was a saying that you need to be a jack of all trade. At the same time, you need to master it all. Or, suppose if you're a jack of all and you don't have a specialization, that's actually bad. Okay. But in today's world, I think that a jack of all is something that the market needs, and becoming a generalist, becoming a full stack. And full stack in marketing, it would be, I mean, you need to be a master storyteller, you need to be good with data and analytics, and you also understand sales. I mean, you should be able to understand the pipeline and the sales velocity. Okay. And you'll have to treat each and every campaign as an experiment, as you publish, as you are interacting with your customers and everyone, your peer relationship. So all these things are going to matter. And stay close to your community. All the marketers need to stay close to one another. I mean, if you are into the marketing department, you are there trapped, or I would say you are working for an SMB or a MM or mid-market company, you don't have many people who are there in your marketing team. Okay. And you're only limited to the interaction that you are having with all those bunch of people. But in case I mean, what if you are there participating, or you're part of some community, you're part of some marketing circles in your city, in your, and you are part of various marketing clubs. So that is where you get an opportunity to have those idea sharing. You get an opportunity to have those, knowledge sharing. You're able to interact with one another. You become part of cohorts, which finally they become a power network. I am going to cite examples. So there are a lot of community. I am based out of Hyderabad, okay, within India. So here I'm connected with all the leading marketers or the CMOs who are present in Hyderabad. We have WhatsApp group and we have frequent meetings that we do. I'm also part of larger groups, which is India based. That is also giving me a lot of exposure. At the same time, I shy in doing trainings or interventions which are going to add up to my skills, which are going to show me new things or teach me new things. That's why I'm very close to a lot of academia or the academics, and I do all those training courses, be it a CMO program, be those, different AI and tech related programs or program management. So I get into all those circles, and that is where I get to know and learn a lot of insights from my fellow marketers. At the same time, at a global level, I'm part of networks like CIM, Chartered Institute of Marketing. I'm also part of AMA, American Marketing Association. So all these societies or all these communities actually would give you the required exposure. At the same time, the best free tool or the free network that is available is LinkedIn. We need to explore LinkedIn, where we are connected with our fraternity, with the marketers, and we are aware of what is the latest and greatest happening in our space. And that is going to help us, or anyone who is starting their career in marketing, to know things and grow. Yes. So I took a lovely time on this question. I felt that this is important.
Definitely. And I definitely, I feel the marketing sort of community and sort of support has come a long way sort of recently. That it's often that they help other functions sort of build their communities and don't look after themselves. And I think, that's come a long way. Yeah.
And just to add, sorry, I've been cutting you for cutting in between. Just to add something out here. Now, the last roundtable we had with various marketer that Ortus Club hosted, that was great. I mean, in fact, all those community sessions and the wonderful work that Ortus is doing. So that is also bringing in all different CMOs from different, having different perspectives, all from all across the globe, is actually bringing in a lot of knowledge onto the table. I mean, that is, so these sessions should be there, which would certainly help the overall marketer community.
Definitely. Yeah. I being a part of them, and again, I think, whether it's us or anyone else, having these conversations is very important. Now, you've spoken a lot about sort of change, and we all know the last sort of 5 years has been pretty crazy in terms of changing of jobs and roles, sort of things that you need to succeed. So maybe could you give me a piece of traditional leadership advice that doesn't apply to the modern marketing leader?
That's a question in today's context. It's pretty pertinent. Okay, see, the old mantra or the old saying was control the message. Okay, I mean, it was more about the messaging, the revenue, and all those stuff. Okay, it was more about brand awareness, how people are perceiving you, and how you're able to meet all those numbers. So those were something which were there. Okay, and then, so all these concepts, they don't hold much of a say in today's context. The modern CMO, as I also mentioned, use this word called orchestrate. Okay, modern CMO must orchestrate conversation instead of empowering employees, or instead of educating customers. Okay, so it's all about orchestration. Orchestration is more or less like bringing everyone, I mean, knowing who all are there, part of your ecosystem, how you are ensuring that everyone is associated with the overall I would say objective has a role to play. And who is marketing? I mean, what is marketing's role out here? I mean, marketing is the department, or is going to orchestrate all of these things together, put together. Okay. I mean, be it your product development or product management, be it understanding the services, be it understanding the market, be it definitely understanding the customer and their pain and other stuff. So if marketers play the role of orchestrator, where they have a holistic understanding, they are generalist when it comes to technology, they are generalist when it comes to sales, they are generalist when it comes to product development or knowing about the services, they are able to, if they are generalist of all of these things, they are able to understand things better, and they are able to anchor or orchestrate or connect the dots in between all of these things together in a proper way. And that is what is required in today's context. If you are a CMO, you need to be aware about the digital, you need to be aware about the data, you need to be aware about, you need to predict, I mean, how the market is going to perform. You need to know about the unit economics, about how the your product or your offerings, when it gets into the market, what kind of a profitability it is going to bring in. You'll have to think about the NPS score, you need to think about the cost of your acquisition, and you need to know about everything. But it doesn't mean that if you know, if you have an understanding of the unit economics, you are a CFO. But you'll have to think, I mean, because all these things matter. Okay. So in a traditional leadership, where in earlier CMOs were much more lean towards marketing and the messaging, today's CMO or today's marketing leader should be generalist. They should be able to understand the basic of sales. They should be able to understand the basic of finance. They should be able to understand the basic of product or the technology or the space they are operating in. And in terms of the leadership, there is another important point in leadership, that is people. Okay, like the Olympic motto, it evolved. If I am able to recall, it was something like faster, higher, and better. Okay, so that was something which was the Olympic tagline earlier, and then it became faster, higher, and stronger. And later on, they added another thing in 2021. It was together, faster, higher, and stronger together. I do believe, I mean, the two progress is definitely going to happen when we move forward together. You'll have to collaborate within your team and others, the entire people who are part of your organization. And you'll have to, the marketers are the guys, or the CMO, they have to set up the cultures and the ethics and the ethos of customer centricity, and bring in that transformational and mindful leadership, which is the need of the hour. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I heard someone say the other day, and it was just like, with the sort of adoption, that's going to take a lot of one side of the work, but actually the leadership of people and connection and whether it's internally or customer, that's going to be the important sort of role of leaders, and sort of bringing that community together. That's how sort of people are going to progress, and businesses are going to grow, and like you spoke about earlier, have loyal customers and employees. That's great. And is there anything else on the future of marketing that you would like to add, like how it looked like in your mind?
Absolutely, there is a lot happening. There happening in the stuff I have seen in last quarter has been phenomenal. There has been an exponential rise within AI. I mean, AI has been democratized like anything. Okay, it also with Chat GPT, and today we are living in an era where it's everywhere. Okay, you be amazed that, I mean, we are talking about Chat GPT, we are talking about Gemini, we are talking about Perplexity, we are talking about Claude, we are talking about let's say Clay. But in today's date, you'd be amazed that we have somewhere around 400 plus LLMs and AI which are there in the market. Okay, that's amazing. There's so much of things which are happening. Okay, agentic AI is the next big thing, and marketer should be aware of it. We were talking about, in earlier days, we were talking about GTM. Today we are living in an era of GTM engineering. You have things like Clay, where you can pick and choose your tool, and you can embed them at the backdrop, and you can perform your task. I mean, there are so much of wrapper technologies which are available, so which are making all the difference. Okay, I mean, Canva as a company is doing a remarkable job. Adobe, with the introduction of Firefly has made, I would say, I mean, they have done transformational things in the space of creative services. So there's so much of happening, I mean, in the space of marketing. And with, I would say, with the democratization of AI and access of all this data, the marketers would have a real challenge of bringing in that one-to-one experience at an enterprise scale. That would be the need of the hour. And more than data and all this AI buzz, it's the human element, it's the creative side of things. It's about understanding, it's about empathy, which are also going to be important. So I would say marketing is poised for to become a chief architect of growth, which is a combination of human and machines or technology blended together.
Fantastic.
Yes.
How would you describe the role of CMO in one word?
Okay, that's a difficult question.
It might be the hardest one. One in an explanation.
Right. Because I went on and on when it came to open-ended questions. One word. I would say integrator or orchestrator. Integrator would be the right word, because marketers are the people who are able to connect the data with the creativity, with the product, with sales, with customer, of course. I mean, that should be the first thing. And by far the most important thing, that would be setting up culture within themselves and turning all these fragmented efforts into a single high velocity, I would say, growth engine. So marketers are like integrator of siloed efforts into a focused, I would say, high velocity growth engine would be the thing they would be doing. But to answer your question, cutting long story short, integrator is the word.
Okay, that's nice.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's something that has definitely been a theme throughout sort of this conversation and sort of many others. And I think it makes the marketing function very interesting, and I think it's something that is very enjoyable. And no, I think it's a great place to finish as well. And thank you for your time. And look forward to catching up soon. But no, thank you very much for joining us on. That was some fantastic insights, and I look forward to keeping in touch.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure talking to you. And then the questions were really pertinent, and they were very much they were in line of what I was doing. And I feel humbled and glad to be here. And then it was lovely sharing my insights. Okay, thank you for watching CMO Chats by Ortus Club, and catch my full interview on Spotify.